You might have thought that slavery was a thing of the past, but to our shame, it is still very much part of our present.
At the moment, it's a hidden crime. It's illegal in every country. But to the best of our understanding, there are about 27 million people in the world in slavery. The largest number of people to be in slavery at any one time in human history.
Slavery hasn't ended. It's at the points when people are vulnerable that they're most susceptible to slavery. Once you've got the position where people are potentially exploited, slavery will always be with us. It's all pervasive. I think we can find slavery in London and we can find slavery in deepest Central Africa. Whether it's cocoa plantations or whether it's trafficked women from Eastern Europe held in the middle of Soho, it's never that far away from us. So these are key stories trying to reflect what's actually happening to people and how cheap human life has actually become.
Slavery isn't just a problem in one part of the world. It seeps into every nation around the globe. Sometimes the authorities themselves are complicit.
In a country like Sudan, you actually have the government involved in using slavery as a terror tactic.
I wanted them to be more or less life-size, and the reason for doing that is that I wanted them, the people that I've photographed and that I've interviewed, to be in conversation with you, the viewer, walking around this exhibition. I wanted them to be like somebody sitting across a table, sitting across a yard, so that you can, perhaps empathize more readily with what they've been through. And the tragedy is that, they're treated really badly, and if they lose cattle, which is basically like losing money, then they're beaten, and in some cases they're maimed. There's a gentleman there whose fingers are just touching his kneecaps. He lost a camel that was found shortly afterwards, and his punishment for doing that was being basically nailed to a tree, crucified. Others, the chap over there had his arm cut off with a machete. Others have just been kicked and beaten. I mean, the conditions that they live in slavery are atrocious.
Modern slavery takes many forms. The victims are often ensnared by the promise of a better future.
Those people who are brought from other countries to Western Europe and North America are promised a situation of opportunity, and they'll end up as household servants, enslaved household servants, or working in commodity or agricultural processing in ways that might have sounded like a real job, but turned out to be dirty, dangerous, and demeaning. Very often the jobs that are promised are decent jobs, factory jobs, waitress jobs, any kind of work. But the jobs that are delivered can be prostitution, forced prostitution, horrific farm work, sweatshop labor, anything that a criminal can think up, really, that they can take and use a human being to make money from.
The cause of abolition is an old one, but even now, in the 21st century, it's a battle that still needs to be fought. Martin Gayford, Bloomberg News.